Hey y'all, this is Saint the Gamer, and today we're going to be talking about these Atlas engines. I previously did a tutorial on these, but my audio is screwed up, so this time we're going to go ahead and do it with working audio. For the Atlas engines in Hardspace Shipbreaker, they're really easy to take apart. The first thing you gotta do is you gotta remove those covers, cut the cut points. You gotta do this on both sides of each engine. Those access panels are going to the processor. Oh, that one didn't work out. Did either of them work out? Oh, shoot. Sometimes that happens. The tether clips to a different part of the ship. It's fine. It happens. Let's just clip them together so we don't have to worry about it. Okay.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Alright, once you cut both cut points, this thruster nozzle will pop off. Let's go ahead and tether those down into the barge. Now you've got the engine itself. You're not going to be able to squeeze past this quasar thruster. So what you gotta do is you gotta cut these cut points, but you gotta do it really fast so that the fuel pipes don't burn up before you're able to get to the back and turn the fuel off. So don't go until you're absolutely certain that you're ready to go. All that being said, I like to line up my cuts perpendicularly like that. It makes it easier to make sure I don't accidentally clip something I don't want to. Tether that down there, and now we need to fly. Do your best to not get lit on fire. Sometimes it happens. Try to have it off.
Secured. Applying credit.
Alright, and the engine's separated. Another way of taking that quasar thruster off is to actually tether it to the back of the bay, and then cut it. That way the tether will actually pull it out.
Thruster dangerously unstable. Proceed with caution.
On one hand, that gets the thruster out there much faster than the other method. However, it also puts it at the back of the bay, so you're going to have to go back and transport it to the barge later. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. Okay, there's our second engine. So cancel that tether and put it into the barge. Okay. So now this outer edge, just go ahead and just drag it. We're going to want to put it a little bit forward of the processor, because we do not want this thing to be impacted against that wall. The reason being, if it lies against that wall, then it's going to be a colossal pain to get it unattached from the wall and into the processor. Sometimes they get caught on that lip of the processor right there, and it can be difficult to get them over that lip since the furnace is going to be born on it too. Alright, now that we've pulled these forward so that that chance is minimized, let's go ahead and just pull them directly into the processor. These are worth a huge amount of money, so you definitely want to get them in there. Now you notice this whole thing is going to the barge, right? So if you can, just leave the fuel tanks attached and then go through. We're going to have to figure out another way to get to that other one. It'll save you a little bit of time if you can figure out how to do this with the fuel tanks attached. That way you don't have to spend time taking both of them off, you can just take off the one. Oh, I don't trust that cut. Let's pull this out a little bit further.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
There we go. Okay. That saves you from having to separate the fuel tanks. Alright. Let's take off this push pad. Access the rest of these engines. Okay. Oh, there's one more cut point. Alright, push pad and then plate, whatever it's called, are going. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with these two engine sides. Oh, you know what? I forgot that these ones are attached.
Applying credit to account.
Okay, we're pulling them forward. And when they get to an appropriate place, we'll go ahead and detach the tethers.
Accepted for
You
processing.
could potentially, where you see this one's already going toward the processor, there's a potential that it could get pulled in without us needing to throw another tether. We'll see if it happens. And then you just go ahead and do the same thing for the other sides. Now, once you upgrade your grappler, you'll actually be able to push these in manually, for example, like that. That's definitely late game content, but the vast majority of the game you're going to be running
Processing
using tethers
valuable deposit.
to control these, and you're going to want to make sure that you're avoiding that inner edge, because if you're not, it's going to be a colossal pain to get it all together. Some people have reported being crushed by the two sides of the thruster engines. I have not had that happen. However, enough people have reported it that it's probably a legitimate thing. I don't know what triggers that and what doesn't. Key factor to keep in mind is that these thruster engine sides, the Quasar thruster sides, they are very, very heavy. They provide a huge amount of mass. If you try to leave the atmosphere inside of the Atlas before, if you leave the atmosphere inside the Atlas and take off the engines first, then if you need to do any kind of explosive decompression inside the Atlas, it's going to go flying and you're going to lose a whole bunch of salvage. So always make sure you're taking the atmosphere out first. That should be the first thing you do on any ship, and especially on Atlases, because the once you take off the Quasar thrusters, you just don't have the mass to keep the ship in one spot if you have to do a violent decompression. Alright. And that's it for tips and tricks for the Atlas engines. If you guys have any questions or concerns, drop them in the chat. If you like my new audio, say that in the chat. If you don't, let me know that too. Talk to y'all later. Goodbye.